out questions and answers, but please give them the floor. Be respectful, all right? Let's do this.
Here, let's put you guys all on Twitter. So this is like my first panel I've really done. So you guys want to help me out and maybe ask some questions, or? I gotta go with Spider Bat.
Spider Bat.
Can you help me find my parents?
Sure. Is Spider Bat, mom, dad, anyone? There should be a bat and a spider walking around.
Dad, I focus on a spider.
His parents are dead at every acre. Come on. Where's Kyle?
Like totally Kyle?
Like
One time, I was like, wait, what is it? One time, I was laying in bed, and I looked up, and I saw a spider, and I was all, ah, spider. And the spider was all, ah, Kyle. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, if they decide to do a movie of the alternate Spider-Man, what character, what actor be like the Power Man, White Tiger, and the Power Fist?
Which actors would play them?
Yeah. Talk about. I know you be as the Spider-Man.
I'm playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, O.G. Banks, who actually does the voice of Power Man, would be a pretty cool Power Man. He's a really cool dude. Who would be a good White Tiger? There we go, White Tiger right there.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo as White Tiger? White Tiger's a girl. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm unaware. I just do the voice.
It's cool.
Yep.
What was it at all difficult for you to make the transition between live acting and, not live, but in-person acting and voice acting?
They are pretty different. Doing a voiceover, doing a cartoon is pretty awesome because, there's no hair and makeup, there's no wardrobe, you just kind of roll in you can just roll right out of bed and walk in with your coffee and all of a sudden you're jumping over buildings and doing all this stuff. It is interesting because in live action, you don't have to think about making the efforts like, okay, now he's falling off of a building, or anything. You don't have to do that. You just naturally do it. So when you're in a little booth and you don't have anything to look at as far as animation or anything, you're just reading the script. So you have to have the director tell you, okay, now he jumps over this building, flies over this thing, gets hit by a truck, and so you're like, wait a minute, okay, so now you have to visualize, come on, eat the, and so you're doing all of these crazy voices and like noises and stuff. So it is pretty different. Yep. You do all the voices first, so they animate to our voices. It'd be really hard luckily for Spider-Man, when he has his mask on, it's pretty easy to just put whatever's in there, but even when he has his mask on and his mouth is moving, it would be really hard to try to dub it in there, So yeah, I don't know how they do it, it's incredible, but they animate to our voices before, after we've done it all. Yep.
Are you still in contact with Josh and Drake and Josh?
I am, yeah. I just saw him the other day. We're really good friends, yeah. Everybody, we're like a big family on that show. I mean, everybody. Miranda, you know, Jonathan, Yvette, who played Helen, Jerry Trainer. I mean, we're all. It's like summer camp, you know. You remain friends, and it's pretty awesome. The Yellow Bow.
Oh, wait, sorry. So, how did you move from the Amanda show to Drake and Josh to Super Moon and now to Spider-Man? Like, that seems like a really big jump.
Well, working on the Amanda show, it was the same creators and executive producer as Drake and Josh. And when Josh came on the show, when he came onto the Amanda show, we were, he wasn't really featured a lot. He came in on the second season, and he would just play ancillary characters. They never really gave him, like, you know, anything really meaty to do until we did a sketch, I think it was Tony Pajamas. And so it's pajamas. So when the creators saw us working together, then they started putting us in a lot of sketches as being sort of the, I don't know if you guys are going to get this reference, but Harvey Korman, Tim Conway sort of, you know, from, yeah.
I understand that
One person got it. So they started putting us together a lot more, you know, Martin and Lewis, a la Abbott Costello, and we really clicked together. And so we were doing a sketch, I don't know if you guys remember, but we were fighting over a shrimp on the Amanda show. So the shrimp comes down, and all it said in the script was, Drake and Josh fight over a shrimp. That's all it said. There was no dialogue, there was no anything. So they just said, all right, the shrimp lands on the ground, and you guys have to fight over it. And we just went at it. And one of the writers leaned over to Dan Schneider, the executive producer, and said, you know that's your next show, right? That's your next show. And so they developed the show for us and made us Step Brothers and all this. And interesting fact, if you watch the very last episode of Drake and Josh, we're fighting over a shrimp. And so we start by fighting over a shrimp, and we end by fighting over a shrimp. So that was a little homage to how we got started. Hello to all of your friends. Yes.
So it's very nice to meet you. I'm so happy to be here. And I was wondering, I know that you're still continuing with your music. I was wondering if there's going to be maybe any other concerts that are going to go on.
Well, I'm actually, I'm working on Splash. Everybody watch Splash on ABC on Tuesday night. It's pretty awesome. I'm diving from like 3.5-story buildings and stuff. It's nuts. Yeah, I'm getting in my inner Spider-Man when I'm working on this show. But I'm working on a new record. Right when I'm done with that show, I'll be going to Nashville to cut a new record, which is really awesome. I've been a huge fan of an artist named Brian Setzer, who had a band called the Stray Cats. You probably heard Rock This Town, Stray Cats Strut. And I'm a big fan of 50s rockabilly and rock and roll. And he was my inspiration to play guitar. I mean, I wanted to dress like him. I wanted to do my hair like him. I wanted to play. I got his guitars, you know. And following him around, kind of being fanatical, I got backstage and I got to meet him. And then my friend owned a club that he was playing at, so I got to meet him again. And then we kind of blossomed into this sort of like. Every time he saw him, he's like, "Hey, Drake," you know, like we kind of got to know each other. And then I did the opening for Monday Night Football about 2 years ago, and he was the band leader, and he called and asked if I would like to be in the band with, Richie Sambora, Bootsy Collins, Cindy Blackman, Gretchen. I mean, it was like an all-star band, and I just couldn't believe that I was able to not only like hang out with Brian, but now I'm on stage rocking with him. Like I can like go up, put my back up to him and rock. Like, this is amazing.
I love you.
And our relationship blossomed, and I went backstage and was talking to him last Christmas, and I said, you know, we should do something together. I mean, we should make a record together, thinking that would never happen. And he's never executive produced anything or really been a part of anybody else's projects. He's only done his own thing. And he said it was a good idea, and I couldn't believe it. So Brian Setzer's going to be executive producing the new record, alongside Peter Collins, who did his Jump, Jive, and Wail and Va-Voom, and he's produced everyone from Rush to, I mean, it's just really, really big stuff, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that. So that'll be being recorded in Nashville right when we're done. So yeah, look for that, and then dates will follow. So I'll be back out here rocking.
Thank you.
What's your favorite Drake and Josh episode that you either filmed or watched yourself?
There's so many good ones. Well, okay. There's one that's really funny. I don't know why this just popped into my head because I've never answered this question this way, but there's an episode where we watch a baby. You remember when we watched a baby? Okay, so this is great. So, I don't even think anybody knows this. I've never told the story. So, you remember there's a part where Miranda, I think Miranda's holding the baby, and we're trying, and we end up ripping the things off and making him a diaper out of the curtains.
Oh.
Well, what we did, and you know the baby's peeing on Miranda in that episode. Well, we had a little tube that was like under the baby and it was squirting water. Well, you know, when you gotta go, and the baby actually peed all over Miranda. So she's standing there and she's like, she can't drop the baby. You know, she just has to let it go. So that's a fun, every time I watch that episode, I'm just like, oh man, if people only knew what was really happening.
I have a question for you, actually. Have you seen the Drake and Josh parody on YouTube?
Which one? I'm not sure.
There's
a few.
Has anyone seen like the official Drake and Josh parody where the sister Fagin gets knocked out from a staircase?
Oh yeah.
I will show you after this. It is unbelievably hilarious.
Oh man, I gotta check that out.
When you guys are out of this panel, go to YouTube, check out Drake and Josh parody with Fagin.
Oh no.
That's awesome. I will check that out.
Carry on.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one that got away. You know, she was really awesome when we were growing up, and you know, she's a tremendous talent. So, you know, I just hope we're all the best. Oh yes. No, I don't hate Justin Bieber. His fans are just kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible, the vile comments and the foul language of these. I mean, it's just, everything about it is terrible. You know, hiding behind anonymity is an easy thing to do, so, you know, you can't slide them, I guess. Yes. Hey, what's your name? No. What's the teacher's name? Yeah, like, hi, Miss, the class of...
Okay, say hello, Jeremy.
Hey kids, what's going on? Drake Bell here. Study, do your homework. Listen to your teacher.
How about if anybody wants him to say hi, just pick up them cameras right now and turn them on. We'll do this all at once. Just knock all this out right now.
Hey everybody. Hi, how are you? Hey. What's going on? All right, over here. Hey guys. Hello. Cool glasses.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wait, hi.
Cool glasses. Yes, yellow.
Do you watch any anime?
I don't really, I for some reason I just can never really get into, I hope that doesn't disappoint anyone here, because it is a Comic-Con. Yeah, I don't know, anime, I just never really got into it. Yes. My favorite superhero? Batman. I know I'm supposed to say Spider-Man, but Batman's way cooler. Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man's rad, but you know, Batman's just so badass.
Dragonfly.
Yes.
Would you ever do another show with Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I mean, we hang out and talk about it all the time, and you know, he's going on the serious route and trying to become the Robert De Niro or whatever. But he's just so funny. I keep I really would love to do something with him. So hopefully one day I'll be able to convince him, because it's just, I mean, us together is it's just a waste to not be doing something, So I'd love to. I'd love to. Superman, Supergirl.
How different are you from Spider-Man in the anime series?
He's a lot smarter than I am. But we're a lot alike. That's what I like about Spider-Man. That's one thing I really dug about Spider-Man growing up is, I knew I wasn't going to be some rich guy with a bunch of toys like by Batman, and I knew I wasn't going to be from some other planet, but yeah, like Superman but he was just a high school kid, and it was really relatable growing up. So yeah, there's a lot of correlation between Peter Parker and myself, which is actually pretty funny that Drake's last name is Parker and Peter Parker. I don't know if anybody's put that together. It's kind of weird. Yes.
So have you had anybody make like Drake and Josh references tonight, like saying the same comments or something?
I'm sorry?
Have you had anybody make Drake and Josh references while you're taking pictures and stuff?
Oh yeah, hug me, brother! Actually, there's a hug me, brother shirts going around. There we are, hug me, brother. Yes. Yes. Well, it all started. I was I've been doing this for a long time. I started acting when I was about 5 years old. And I was so fascinated by the world of entertainment. And I grew up on, the classics. Martin and Lewis, Abbott and Costello, the Marx Brothers, Lucille Ball, all of these. I just want Elvis and the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and that's just what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I could do it. I mean, I'm 5 years old, I don't know. I just love getting up on tables and, lip syncing to Surfing USA, or trying to swing my legs like Elvis and, curl my lip, and just trying to emulate all these people. And my dad just said, is that something you want, like, would this be something you want to do for real, And he wasn't in the entertainment industry, and we really had no idea how to get into it or how to start or anything. Luckily, I grew up in Orange County, California, so I wasn't too far from LA and where everything was really happening. So, we went about it how anybody else would. That's why a lot of people always ask, how do I get into the business? How do I start? And it's really, I don't know, because I was 5 years old and we just did what anybody else would do, Try and find an agent, try and find a manager, see what works, see what pops. And my first commercial, I was probably about 6 years old. It took a long time to get an actual job. So I was about 6 or 7, and I was doing a commercial for Whirlpool, like the appliances.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to sit on a tree stump and eat a popsicle and let it drip on my clothes, and then it shows my mom like washing my clothes. So here I am, I'm 6 years old, and I get to sit on a tree stump and eat popsicles all day. I'm like, yeah, all right, I can do this. I'm good. I think I can stick with this. Yeah.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time? Man, that's a hard question. Off the top of my head, I mean, The Graduate's pretty amazing. I really love, that's a movie I could watch over and over and over again. The Godfather, I mean, The Godfather is just, that's a flawless film, except for the boom shadow you can see when Sonny's sister's getting beat up, so not quite flawless, but yeah, I mean, the Godfather 2, I'm a big silent movie fan. I love old movies, so I'm really into. The Artist really surprised me that this last silent movie that came out. I mean, I went to that movie thinking I was going to find all the flaws because I'm a silent movie buff, and I'm going to see. And I was just shocked that it looked like it was shot in 1927. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Yeah, Walking Dead guy.
You were off doing a superhero movie. Did you like playing that?
Oh, thank you. And yeah, that was really awesome because it's cool being Spider-Man because, I mean, it's Spider-Man, and that's really awesome. But I'm just doing the voice. Superhero movie, I got to, the people who made the costume for superhero movie were the same people who made the costume for Tobey in the original Spider-Man movies. And so I really got to see what it felt like, and when you put that on, and the muscle suit and everything, I mean, you really start walking differently. I mean, you really get to feel what it's like to be a superhero minus the superpowers, you know? Yeah.
How did you end up with the cameo on my car?
I showed up that day, and Miranda hadn't seen that I was there yet, and it'd been a while since I'd seen Miranda, a while, like a month. And so I was just hanging out with Dan over by the monitors, and he said, "Hey, you want to freak Miranda out?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Hey, just go in the scene and do something." And so I'm like, "All right." So I just walked in and I just took the spoon out of her and started eating her watermelon, and thought it'd be funny to say, "Hey, where's Josh? Wait, what? What's going on here?" So that was just because I was there. That was like Josh did that too on Victorious. There was a scene where. What's the girl's name? What is
Jade.
It? Yeah, Jade. She comes down and he's like, "Hi," and she's like, "Oh, please," you know. But that was just because he was there. He's like, "Hey, you want to do something?" And also in another episode, he showed up. It was Halloween, and he was dressed as Andy Warhol. And he came to. So if you look on Victorious, somewhere in the background, you'll see a dude with white hair and sunglasses, looking like Andy Warhol. That's Josh. Yes, you.
How much time and effort was spent on the Fuse Brothers scene and the dance sequence?
Good question. We worked a lot on that. I mean, we had to really study. We watched all the old SNL sketches with them and the movie and everything, and it was a lot of fun because I mean I grew up. I mean, I'm being able to. That's what the cool thing about working with Josh was for me was. I grew up on buddy comedies. I grew up on Martin and Lewis, Abbott and Costello, Aykroyd and Belushi, you know, the greats. And to actually be able to be a part of that was so cool. So, you know, we just watched the old sketches from SNL, and we had our dialogue coach is also a dance instructor, so he kind of helped us, like also with the episode where we did the dance contest. That was we worked with the same person and just kind of, you know, both of us are not dancers by any stretch of the imagination, so it was a little tough. But once we got it, it was like, oh man, this is, you know, I felt it was just so cool being with my partner, you know, doing Aykroyd and Belushi. I mean, it was just it was so cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean I was a huge fan of all of that. Batman the Animated Series, the old Batman, yeah. I mean they were all huge fan, and I loved. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, I was a huge Michael Keaton Batman fan. I mean that was my stuff right there. I even still have a cereal box with the Batman piggy bank that came. It was in 1986. I think it was. No, I had to be 3. 89. It was 89. That's right, because I was 3. So, and I remember I got this at the grocery store. I wanted it so bad, and it came with a piggy bank wrapped up in it. And I got home, and I was so excited to play with my piggy bank. And I have 3 older brothers, and my brother thought it would be funny to melt my Batman piggy bank on the fire, on the stove. So I get home, and I'm so excited to play with this, and he's melting it over the fire. And I'm like, you know, destroyed. I mean, I was like so devastated. So about a year ago, I went on eBay, and I got my Batman piggy bank. So now I have 2 of them.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
So many things. Yes.
Can you do a Tony Pajamas impression?
I mean, like, what do you want me to say? It's pajamas, by the way.
Yo.
So, man, I wish I remembered somebody.
The cannoli. I ate the cannoli. The al dente
Well, oh, you see, dente brothers, they got meatballs. I think that was a little more Pauly, but. What was that for? For being an idiot. Okay. Little Superman.
How did you get so funny?
How did I get so funny? Thank you. That's sweet. It's just natural, I guess. I don't know. I don't try to be fun. I don't know. I learned a lot from Josh Peck. Dan's the man. I mean, I've worked with him for, since I was 12 years old, we've been working together, and we're great friends. We talk all the time, and he's an insanely creative force, and I'm really fortunate to have gotten into his camp because he's brilliant, and he's a great guy and really collaborative. It's really cool working with Dan. He's a great dude. Right there.
Who was your favorite YouTuber?
Sorry.
Who's your favorite YouTuber from you guys, Squash, or Buskets or something?
I don't really know any of these. Shane Dawson. Me and him are bros, so even though he kind of picks on me sometimes.
You look alike.
I know. I think he's
twins.
Yeah.
Twins.
Yeah, right? Did you guys see my Shane Dawson episode, by the way, where he kidnaps me? Yeah.
Yes.
And then his mom chloroforms me? Right here. It's always, you're so appreciative, I was actually just talking in the other room, and I was talking about, people who, like celebrities or people who are at a certain point of fame or anything like that, they kind of get bothered when people ask them for pictures or autographs, or get bothered, without you guys, there's no us, so it's like so awesome to be able to come here and see all you guys interested in every word that's coming out of my mouth right now. It's very weird, but it's so awesome that, because without you guys, everyone always asks, does it bother you, if I'm at Disneyland or I'm somewhere where I'm just getting bombarded, they're like, doesn't that bother you? I'm like, it's going to bother me when it stops, then it just shows that people enjoy what you're doing and that you're making people happy, and it's all, when people come in and say, man, you made my childhood, it's just like, and I really understand, because I'm fanatical too. When I'm a fan of somebody, I have everything that they've ever done. I go to every show. I'm the same way. So, I get it, and it's awesome. I couldn't be happier. Yep. I would love to. Those movies are so fun. I get to go to Vancouver and hang out, and it's. Working with Butch Hartman, the creator of Fairly Odd Parents, he's the coolest dude, and I would love to. I'd love to. They did really well, so that could be possible.
Yes, I did see that.
Yes. I'm sorry. My favorite supervillain. I'm gonna have to go with the Joker. He's pretty much the best villain of all time.
Two-Face.
You had a question. I play guitar. I can play piano, enough to ride on it and jam and stuff. I started playing drums when I was younger, and that's really how I got into music. I started. My brother kind of played drums, and you know how you always want to be like your older brother. And so I got a drum set and just started banging around on it. But then I realized that I was going to be in the back of the band. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to get lost in the back. So I switched to guitar and started writing songs and singing and stuff like that. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse.
I actually grew up watching you on the Amanda Show, and I thought you were hysterical.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you play any other
I'd love to play Batman. I don't know if I could get away with playing Bruce Wayne. I don't know if but
Tim Drake.
Huh?
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake. Who's that? Oh, I'm still on Dick Grayson, dude. Let's see. Yeah, actually, that would be awesome. I'd like to play Robin. That'd be really cool. Yeah.
What's your opinion on Aquaman?
The superhero?
Yes.
Just in general?
Yeah.
I mean, I was never really a big fan of Aquaman, so I didn't read much of the comics and stuff, so I don't really have an opinion. I think his costume's pretty cool. It's cool that he's a blonde superhero. This little guy right here. You know what? No. I mean, Miranda was the sweetest, cutest. I mean, I remember I started working with her when she was 7 years old, and now she's driving. It's crazy to see her, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're a woman? Wait, that's not right. You're this little girl. Why are you driving a car? Like, get out of that. I still see her as this little girl. I remember one time, the first episode, we were. I always go up and hang out in the writers' room with the writers and stuff during our lunch breaks, and I'm walking up. The whole stage is empty. Everyone's at lunch, and I'm walking to the writers' room upstairs, and I hear pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter behind me, and I'm like, these little footsteps, And I turn around, and little 7-year-old Miranda with her big eyes, and she just goes, "Where are we going?" And I'm like, "We're gonna go find your mom." And then I'm gonna go. So it was just so cute. I just remember that. So like seeing her. So no, I mean we were like a real family, And Josh and I are, we're friends to this day. So I mean it's always been cool. Well, yeah, but I'm not saying Josh and I never butted heads, but it's just like any relationship with real brothers. There were times when we loved each other and couldn't get away from each other, and then there were times where I couldn't wait to get away from them, But all in the end, it's just like real brothers, You make up, and that stuff happens, and we're friends to this day. Yeah. On the show? No. No, she was terrible. Yes. My favorite. I'm sorry. Side character. Crazy Steve's pretty good. He's brilliant. And it was so funny because when he came onto the show, he wasn't Crazy Steve. Jerry was just playing a character in the theater that was like a ticket taker, and he came in and made him crazy for no reason. And Dan loved it and thought it was brilliant, and he became Crazy Steve. Spider-Man.
What's your favorite song that you've written?
My favorite song that I've written, Somehow I like a lot. I Know is pretty good. Fool, I like them all. Makes Me Happy, I like a lot. Of course, Found a Way. It was really interesting. I'll tell you a funny story about that, how I got the... So we were, I got a call from Dan Schneider saying, this was before we started Drake and Josh, we were just in talks about it. And he said, I want to have a meeting and figure out how much or how little you want to use your music on the show. Like maybe you want to keep that separate, but I'm a big fan of the music, so I want to try and incorporate it somehow, and, let's talk and see how we want to do that. So I got off the phone, and I called my music partner, who I've written all the music with and produced the records with. I said, hey man, we gotta write a theme song for this show. So that was on a Friday. The Saturday, I go over to my friend's house and we start thinking of all the theme songs, days go by, and every theme song we could think of. And we were trying to emulate that and write like that, and just nothing was coming to us. We were just sitting around for 6 hours, 8 hours, and nothing. And so finally I go, hey man, let's just forget about the theme song thing, and let's not waste today, and let's just write a song. And so we started writing Found a Way, and it kind of started coming, and I was like, hey man, this is kind of cool. Let's kind of write the lyrics like it's two brothers. You know, that's why it was like two. It's really, you know, we move in together. We don't like each other. We don't, you know, I don't want him in there. And it's like I never thought it'd be so simple, but I found a way. I never thought that. So it's more. It's a lot of, you know, I'll always be there picking you up over your shoulder. I'm picking you up when you're down. You know. So it's a very like friend buddy song. It's not a song to a girl. It's not a song. It's like a song to your friend. You know. And so we started writing the lyrics for that, and it came together like boom. I mean, 8 hours of nothing to half an hour we have a song. I'm just like, oh man, this is great. So we recorded a little 1-minute version of it, and I took it over to Dan Schneider, who was working on Amanda's What I Like About You at the time. And I went over to the stage, and I said, hey man, I went and asked the prop guys for a boombox, and I said, Dan, I want you to hear this song. You know, before the meeting even started, I just want you to hear this song. I think it could be a theme song for the show. And Dan goes, oh man, don't make me listen to it in front of you, please. If I don't like it, I don't want, like, how can I tell you? What do I do? Do I snap? Do I bop my head? Like, I don't want to just, I can't sit. And that's like me reading a script that you wrote in front of you. Like, please don't make me do that. I said, Dan, we've been working together for like 65 years, you know, like, if you don't like it, tell me. You're my bro. Like, who cares? You know, if you don't like it, hey, I tried. I'm not going to get hurt. And, he goes, oh, all right, finally convinced him. He did not want to listen to it in front of me. So I finally convinced him, and I pressed play, and a minute goes by. He doesn't say anything. He just picks up his boombox and starts walking around the set going, hey, you guys want to hear the new theme song to my show? Want to hear the new theme song for my new show? And he just starts playing it for everyone. He fell in love with it, went back to the network, and convinced the network to use it, and then it became Found a Way, the theme song. Yes. Blonde. Yes.
Can you sing some of the theme song?
Man, does anyone have a guitar? Jeez. You sing a cappella? I never thought that it'd be so simple, but I found a way. And I always thought that it'd be too crazy, but I found a way. If you open up your mind, see what's inside. There you go. If I had a guitar, I should have brought a guitar for you guys. It's such a bummer. If anyone tracks down a guitar, I will play a song for you guys. I know there's some floating around. I've autographed a couple. I cannot fiddle, but that's impressive. Fiddle at Comic-Con. Someone who hasn't been called on yet. Let's red hair. Yes.
Okay, well, our group has a question for you.
Sure.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hey there, would you like to talk about homestuck?
What?
Never heard of homestuck?
No.
It's okay, no one knows what Homestuck is.
It's fine.
What is Homestuck?
No one knows!
Neutral party. It's a neutral party. Webcomic, you want to see it? Check it out. If you don't, then don't. Whatever.
It's very complex.
No one knows what Homestuck is.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm reading it.
Orange shirt. How does it feel for you to be so awesome every day? You're way awesomer than I am. Yes.
When you write a song, do you start with melody or do you start with lyrics? Like, how does it come along initially?
Usually, it's the music first. I'll write like a chord progression or something like that, and then the melody comes after that, and then the lyrics come. So that's a lot. You know, some people, like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, it's always the lyrics first. Paul Simon, it's always the music first, and then the poetry comes after. So that's sort of how I do it. Yeah.
Is there any huge pranks that you and Josh pulled, like, completely off camera?
Sorry, what?
Are there any huge pranks you and Josh pulled together completely off camera?
You know, it's really funny because Josh is a pretty serious guy off camera. It's interesting. But no, I mean, we were always, you know, we were worrying about whether or not we memorized our lines. I don't think that we had a lot of time to really pull pranks on each other. So That's a question. I gotta make something up for that question because it gets asked all the time. You.
How did you learn to play the guitar?
I started playing the guitar, actually. I did a movie. There's a band, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, called The Who. I don't know how young it is, you know. So the lead singer of The Who is Roger Daltrey, and I did a film with him when I was about 12 years old, and I had to learn to play guitar for the movie. And that's actually when I stopped playing drums and stuck with guitar, because I just fell in love with it, and I picked it up pretty quickly. And I never really, I mean, I took lessons. If any of you are musicians here, stick with your lessons. Seriously, like, I know they're like tedious and they, you know, could get boring at times, but stick with them, because I would be a much better player now if I did. But, you know, I kind of just taught myself and watched videos and watched people playing live, and you know, other friends who were musicians, you know, pick up things from them. It was sort of just kind of did it on my own. Yes. I don't, but I should. I hear it's a great show. I don't have time. I watch Storage Wars, man. I don't have time. It's like my favorite show. Yes. Do you pull do you guys ever pull pranks on each other? Questions I get asked the most. How did you get started in the business? How do I get into the business? What's it like being so awesome? No, I'm just kidding. You have an next one.
Yeah, what's the most awkward question you ever got asked?
I don't know, will you have my babies? Or will you not have my baby, but you know what I mean. No, actually, not an awkward question, but I got fan mail one time that had a used Biore strip in it. Like she wanted to send me her blackheads and pimples. I don't know, it was very weird. It was very weird. I know, people do weird things. I don't get it.
Jared Leto's weird.
Behind Walking Dead.
What's your favorite movie you ever made?
Superhero was pretty awesome, because I grew up Airplane and spoof movies. The Naked Gun movies I loved. So getting to work with Leslie Nielsen, getting to work with David Zucker, who wrote Airplane and The Naked Guns and Police Squad, Marion Ross. That was just a really awesome thing to be a part of, and that's probably one of the coolest. Right here, Burgundy.
What was it like making the junk food and video games episode, and what happened to the game sphere? What is the fate of the game sphere?
The game sphere was actually a CD player you could buy at Target at the time, but it was that was actually the question. Also, the question I get asked a lot is, "What's your favorite episode?" And that was my answer a lot, was that episode, because when we fall into the chocolate milk. So we get there in the morning, and I'm like, all right, is that going to be warm or is it going to be cold? Like, you know, how's it going to be? Because we only have one chance at it. Because once you fall in, it's not like you can go do take two. I mean, we got to go shower, we got to get dried off, we got to do hair and makeup again. So there's not like, it's like one chance. So they said, yeah, we're warming it up. Well, this was about at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be warm. Don't worry about it. And we're testing it. Okay, that's warm. Well, then it sits there all day. And we don't shoot that scene until about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So it's ice cold. And and when you're on a soundstage, I don't know if any of you have been on a soundstage, but it's freezing all the time. It's just so cold. So, I mean, when you're in rehearsals, you're wearing jackets, and it's really cold. I don't know why, but they always keep them cold. Probably because there's so many people, and it's just, you know, and the lights. That's why they keep it so cold. Because when the lights go on, it gets incredibly hot. But we're about to fall in, and if you watch the episode again, it takes a second for us to like come back up and get back in the scene. Because when we hit that chocolate milk, I mean, it was like diving. It was like someone next to us could be ice fishing. I mean, it was so cold that it just, I mean, it was terrifying. But yeah, it was awesome playing Willy Wonka and having a candy-filled room. That was pretty awesome.
Hey everybody, we have time for 2 more questions, and then there will be another Drake Bell panel tomorrow.
Yes. I would. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. How did Andrew Garfield do, by the way? I didn't see it. Was it good?
It was great.
One Stacy.
Good, because he yeah, it's good. Yes.
Do you like or do you watch The Walking Dead?
You know what? It's really interesting that I haven't gotten into The Walking Dead because I'm a huge Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley fan. I mean, I just love... Invincible is my favorite comic book, so I don't know why I haven't gotten into Walking Dead yet. I don't know, but and also I want to read the comic before I watch the show because I mean I'm a comic book fan, so I don't know why I just haven't gotten into that one yet. I'll take one more. Red Jacket.
So you guys sounds like you guys are crazy fans. Like, do you have a craziest fan? One that just sticks out of your mind?
Yeah, there's a couple crazies. There's a couple. But they're great. I love all my fans. So, but yeah, there's definitely some that are a little more overzealous than others. Yeah. Sent me a used Biore strip and a man. Yes.
Being a childhood star or growing up in acting, did you feel like you never would have had it as a childhood? Would you have changed it?
No. I mean, I've been to places around the world that I would have never been able to have gone. I've met people I would have never been able to meet. I didn't. You know, it's a lot. That's another question I get asked a lot. Is did you miss your childhood? Check this out. I didn't go to high school, like a regular high school for freshman year. And when sophomore year came around, I was like, man, I need to have I need to get a social life. Meanwhile, I had a social life. I didn't know what I was thinking, I'm like, I want to go to school and see what it's like. No. I spent about 2 months there, and I was like, wait a minute, we have to do work, home, what? So it just was not. I'm very much like Drake Parker in that aspect. But do your homework, kids. It's very important. But no, if I was sitting in a classroom or a schoolyard, I mean, what did I miss? Going to lunch and dude, I was in Paris. I was in Romania. I'm all over the world. I mean, being able to and working with people that I'm sitting on I could be at school eating a sack lunch, hoping that girl likes me or something, or I could be on set with Cameron Crowe and Tom Cruise. I mean, I'll pick that. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trade it at all. No, sword or key or whatever that is.
What's the weirdest object you've ever had to sign?
Key.
Well, I don't know if there's a weird. I think the weirdest thing is I've seen a lot of my autographs tattooed on people. I don't know if that's it's like a weird object to sign, but it's weird when you see people Instagram or Twitter you and they're like, your autograph is tattooed on them. That's pretty crazy. Plaid.
What's your favorite thing about making music?
About making what? Music? I just love to rock. I love playing live. Just getting up and playing live and doing music that you've written, and that's the thing that's the difference between acting and music is you're reading someone else's words. You're trying to get someone else's points and ideas across through a character that you're playing. And with music, it's your baby. It's what's in your soul. It's what's in your heart and your mind, and what you want to project to the world. So it's much more personal, and that's what I love about music. Batman. Oh, you missed it. I did.
We got time for one more question.
Why? This is so much fun.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Excuse me? Did I just hear a no, it's not? What are you? Dressed as?
Fourth Doctor.
What is it?
Fourth Doctor.
Oh, all right. Question? This is a feather, and I like feathers. And this is John Lennon's "War Is Over," if you want it, because you know, could be.
All right, everybody, that's been Drake Bell. If you're interested, there's another panel with him tomorrow. Make sure to check it out, okay?
All right.
Yeah, so that's all. Thank you. This was really awesome, guys. Thank you for coming. This was and listening to me blabber. That was awesome. Thanks a lot.
Really?